An unexamined life is not worth living. I cannot teach anybody anything. I can only make them think. To find yourself, think for yourself. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. Beware the barrenness of a busy life. Reality is created by the mind. We can change our reality by changing our mind. The heaviest penalty for declining to rule is to be ruled by someone inferior to yourself. Courage is knowing what not to fear. Wise men speak because they have something to say. Fools because they have to say something. The beginning is the most important part of the work. Virtue is the golden mean between two vices, the one of excess and the other of deficiency. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. The more you know, the more you realize you don't know. Happiness depends upon ourselves. Educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. Respect yourself, and others will respect you. It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. The man who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. Real knowledge is to know the extent of one's ignorance. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. Simplicity, patience, compassion. These three are your greatest treasures. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. He who knows that enough is enough will always have enough. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. No man is free who is not master of himself. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Man is disturbed not by things, but by the views he takes of them. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Dwell on the beauty of life, watch the stars, and see yourself running with them. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. He who is brave is free. Difficulty strengthens the mind, as labor does the body. As is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is what matters. No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river, and he's not the same man. The only constant in life is change. Big results require big ambitions. Character is destiny. To be even-minded is the greatest virtue. Silence is better than unmeaning words. Do not say a little in many words, but a great deal in few. As soon as laws are necessary for men, they are no longer fit for freedom. Above all things, respect yourself. There is geometry in the humming of the strings. There is music in the spacing of the spheres. Man conquers the world by conquering himself. Happiness is a good flow of life. Well-being is realized by small steps, but is truly no small thing. No loss should be more regrettable to us than losing our time, for it's irretrievable. Better to trip with the feet than with the tongue. The art of living well and the art of dying well are one. Not what we have, but what we enjoy constitutes our abundance. Do not spoil what you have by desiring what you have not. He who is not satisfied with a little is satisfied with nothing. Of all the things which wisdom provides to make us entirely happy, Much the greatest is the possession of friendship. Happiness resides not in possessions and not in gold. Happiness dwells in the soul. Raising children is an uncertain thing. Success is reached only after a life of battle and worrying. Good means not merely not to do wrong, but rather not to desire to do wrong. Everywhere man blames nature and fate, yet his fate is mostly but the echo of his character and passions, his mistakes and weaknesses. By desiring little, a poor man makes himself rich. The most difficult thing in life is to know yourself. Hope is the only good that is common to all men. Those who have nothing else possess hope still. The seed of everything is in everything else. He has the most who is most content with the least. I am looking for an honest man. Great deeds are usually wrought at great risks. Man is the measure of all things. Nothing exists. Even if something exists, nothing can be known about it. And even if something can be known about it, knowledge about it can't be communicated to others. The nature of God is a circle of which the center is everywhere and the circumference is nowhere. For to be aware and to be are the same. He who learns but does not think is lost. He who thinks but does not learn is in great danger. The journey is the reward. He who knows others is wise. He who knows himself is enlightened. The superior man is modest in his speech, but exceeds in his actions. The mind is everything. What you think you become. Health is the greatest possession. Contentment is the greatest treasure. Confidence is the greatest friend. Knowing being is the greatest joy. When you are content to be simply yourself and don't compare or compete, everyone will respect you. He who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior. Those who are hardest to love need it the most. The only wealth which you will keep forever is the wealth you have given away. The best way to pay for a lovely moment is to enjoy it. The wise man does not lay up his own treasures. The more he gives to others, the more he has for his own. The greatest blessings of mankind are within us and within our reach. A wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be, without wishing for what he has not. Self-control is the chief element in self-respect, and self-respect is the chief element in courage. The whole is more than the sum of its parts. Learning is a treasure that will follow its owner everywhere. Act with kindness, but do not expect gratitude. The energy of the mind is the essence of life. Time is a created thing. To say I don't have time is to say I don't want to. A happy life consists in tranquility of mind. The brave man is he who overcomes not only his enemies, but his pleasures. The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. The foundation of every state is the education of its youth. One should count each day a separate life. The function of wisdom is to discriminate between good and evil. The brave man is he who overcomes not only his enemies, but his pleasures. The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. The foundation of every state is the education of its youth. One should count each day a separate life. The function of wisdom is to discriminate between good and evil.